Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this one, if you could just hit that subscribe button down below, that would really help me out. But today's video is a news update, and we're going to start with something that happened a day or two ago, but that Leeds United fans are really angry about, and I can see why. I'm one of them. RADRIZZANI wanted to buy Sampdoria, and that's why he wasn't at Leeds at Elland Road the day that Leeds got relegated. He was out there trying to finalise a deal to take over Italian side Sampdoria. Now, what has come out in recent days is that RADRIZZANI, according to Adam Crafton's tweet here, RADRIZZANI offered the club's Elland Road Stadium as security for a £26 million bank loan, which his company Acer and a partner Gestio Capital intended to use to complete a takeover of Sampdoria. Now, what that means in layman's terms is that he was going to use Elland Road as collateral. Now, he doesn't own the entirety of Elland Road. That is actually partially owned by the 49ers, but RADRIZZANI does have the majority of Elland Road. So he was going to use it as collateral, which basically means that if he was unable to pay back the loan that was to take over Sampdoria, the bank would come for Elland Road and would take his part of it, basically, would take all that money. And Leeds fans are fuming about it, rightly so, because that is not, although he owns it, he's almost a proprietor. He's almost a caretaker of that, because really it belongs to the fans, doesn't it? You can't just sell a club stadium to a bank or to use it like this. It's ridiculous. And I think Kinnear and the 49ers were also completely unaware of this, and when it came out in Elland Road, I think rightly so, they were absolutely fuming about this. So I don't think that will actually go through, but the fact that he tried to do that is just another reason why he needs to get out of this club, and as soon as possible. Now, I think in 8 days' time, there's supposed to be a demonstration outside of Elland Road if RADRIZZANI hasn't sold the club to the 49ers by then. And I can see why, because it's time for him to go. Okay, he paid for us to get out of the championship, but most of the genius of that came from Bielsa, and he was the one who actually was able to get us up, because none of the previous managers that RADRIZZANI had employed had managed to get Leeds United out of the championship. So he's had his time now, and he needs to go, because if he's that bothered about getting Sampdoria, he's not bothered about Leeds anymore. Sell up, let the 49ers take over, let the 49ers do their best to get us back to the Premier League, and thanks for what you've done before, but some of the things have been ridiculous, like the badge, etc, and his Twitter account. All of that stuff has just led to it being a complete need for a parting of ways, and Leeds fans are totally ready for that now, as demonstrated by a demonstration that will happen if he doesn't leave in the next 8 days. The other big bit of news is that Big Sam Allardyce is not going to be at Leeds anymore. He's left by mutual consent. I think he got 500 grand for 4 games. Which is ridiculous. Obviously, if he'd stayed up, I think he would have got 2 million for 4 games, so that would have been 500 grand a game. But as we've gone down, he got paid 500 grand for 4 games, and now he's left. So we'll be looking for a new manager. Ones that are in the pool: Gerrard, which I definitely don't want; Patrick Vieira, which is a decent possibility. Brendan Rodgers is tipped for a shock move to Elland Road apparently as well, which I would be happy with Brendan Rodgers out of these ones so far more than anything. Carlos Corberán, who did obviously reject us due to the shortness of the contract and stuff, and it would cost apparently a reported 2 million to buy him out of his contract at West Brom, but I think the best bet is, if we can get him, is Brendan Rodgers. Him to come down to the Championship and get us back up. He would only do that because there's such potential in this club, and it's such a sleeping giant of a club. So if we can get anyone, then hopefully it would be Brendan Rodgers. But I can't see at the moment who we're going to bring in. It's a difficult one. It's got to be attractive to somebody, but I don't know whether it's attractive to somebody like a Brendan Rodgers, who could actually go and get another job in the Premier League. So it remains to be seen what happens on that front. It's going to be an interesting few weeks, because obviously at the moment nobody knows what's going on with anything, and it's really frustrating as a fan of a football club. You don't know who's in charge of the club, whether they're going to stay or whether they're going to go, whether they're going to sell. You don't know who's coming or going in terms of transfers. We could be losing a load of players. We could be losing only a few players. We have saleable assets, but whether they go or not, or whether we get the right price for them, we don't know that either. We don't know whether, if the 49ers do take over, whether they still want Angus Kinnear in there, or whether they're going to get rid of him as well, and start off completely fresh. We don't know who's going to come in as our sporting director. We don't know who our transfer targets are because we haven't got a manager. So because we haven't got a manager, we don't know who to buy for. We can't just start doing deals for players yet. So we are in complete darkness at the moment on what's happening with the club. So really, the club owes us some sort of clarity, and to try and get any possible deals done as soon as humanly possible, so that the fans can, although their club has been relegated, they deserve to know, and we deserve to know, me being one of them, that the club is going in the right direction, that things are happening, things are actually happening in the background, and not that RADRIZZANI's doing all his own stuff. He's sending out apologies on Acer-headed paper rather than Leeds United club-headed paper, which he's always done before in the past. So there's got to be a little bit of a, maybe, I don't know whether a falling out or some sort of miscommunication there between who's in charge of the club, but we need to know at some point soon as possible, and he needs to go. RADRIZZANI needs to go. We need to get Parag Marath in. We need to get the investors in, and we need to start trying to rebuild to get back in the Premier League, because if we leave it too late and we haven't recruited properly for this coming season, then we could struggle to come straight back up, because this is going to be a very, very strong championship with teams like Norwich, Watford, Leicester, Southampton, Leeds, West Brom, maybe Swansea as well could be challenging. It's going to be a very, very strong championship this year, and a very weak Premier League actually. But we need to really focus on getting the right players in, and I will be doing more videos on that once we have a manager. Once we have a manager, you can get a tactics video explaining how he plays, and then that'll lead into more transfer videos, because then I'll know what sort of players he's supposed to, or he would like to bring in, and all of that will flow into place. But at the moment, Leeds just need to know, and the fans just need to know what is going on, because it's ridiculous that we don't know after we've just been relegated. Thanks for watching this one, though. I am on Ollie Ward's channel tonight at around 7 PM. That might change, but just check out his socials and you'll find out. We're going to go through the Leeds squad and see who we should sell and who we should keep. So that should be an interesting stream. So yeah, go and check that out later on. I'll be on there. But for now, yeah, thanks for watching. So hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and yeah, hit that notification bell as well, because there'll be plenty more content on the way once things become a little bit more clear, and then you'll never miss upload. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Leeds Lately.